Terrier from Bed and Business Boarding and Training Facility. This is Inky. Inky's been a challenge. We knew he was going to be. He's young and he's not neutered, and he's a Dalmatian. Not a whole lot of spots, but he is a Dalmatian. And they can be kind of hard to train. And he's very young. I can't remember the age, but he's young and he's not neutered. So all those things together have made it a challenge to work with him. But he's a good dog. He doesn't have any mean bone in his body. And basically what we're going to do, I've got about a 4 or 5 foot leash here. You can have anywhere from a 4 to a 6 foot leash. I'm using a prong collar on him here. I recommend you use that only when you're training at home. He responds to it pretty good, but he does rebel with the heeling sometimes. We're probably going to witness that here in a little bit. I'll show you how to work around that. But when we return, also too, before I forget to tell you, through all these exercises, the dog will be at your left side. Through all the exercise, dog at your left side, always. Okay, when we return, we'll do, not necessarily in this order, but we're going to do a heel and leash, a sit stay, the down stay, the recall, hand signals. I'll explain them as we go through it as well. Good. Okay. I think he's already in a sit, but he knows pretty well. He does a sit. You can put your hand in front so he can see you. You go, just bring your hand up like this and tell him to sit. Every time I tell him to sit, I do that hand signal in between the two. He knows what that means. Get it to where he can see you, be right in front of him. Sit, good boy. And so you got him to sit, then you're going to tell him to stay. The second hand signal is stay. Put the hand in front of his face, just tell him to stay as you walk to the end of your leash. At first, he's going to try you at home. You may only get 2 steps away, but if you get those 2 steps, turn and face him. When you get those 2 steps away, and only stay 2 or 3 seconds and then return. Do not release him. I say free, but you can use anything, okay, whatever you want to use. When you get back and you get all the way back to this position is the only time you free him and release him. Otherwise, he's going to anticipate and he won't stay till you get all the way back. So see how he does. Sit, stay. Reinforce the word stay as you walk away. Stay. 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 Reinforce stay as you return. Get all the way back here. Stay. Exercise finished. Praise your dog. Good boy. Okay, for the down stay, it's going to be exactly the same as the sit. You're going to put him at your left side. Hand signal to sit as he's already sitting. Turn and face him. You're going to put your finger right to the ground. He's not the best at this. If you need to, you can put a treat in your hand and just take it to the ground and he'll follow his nose, lay down. But always start with him in a sit. That helps. Okay, I'm going to try it without the treat. If I need to, I'll go to that. Okay? Come up and put your finger right to the ground and tell him to down. Down. Sit. Sit. Down. Stay. 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 Exercise finished. Good. Okay, this is going to be his recall. So far we've got with the hand signals, we've got to sit, we got to stay. The third one we're going to learn is you're going to sit, stay, walk to the end of your leash as far as you can. At first at home, if you can only get 2 steps away like this far, make sure you turn and face him, reinforce the word stay. And then you're going to turn and face him, and your third hand signals, you're going to bring your hand to his chest as you tell him to come. Okay? And then hopefully he will come and sit at your feet. But basically what you want him to do later on down the road when you got him off leash, you call him, you want him to come to you. Okay? I'm going to probably make him sit when he gets to me, but you don't have to. Okay, Inky, you ready? Sit, stay, stay. Inky, come. Sit. Exercise finished. Praise your dog. Okay, believe it or not, this is probably one of the worst things Inky is at, is a heel on leash. Normally it's the easiest to teach him. I don't think his eyesight is the best. I think his hearing is okay, but I really don't think his eyesight is the best. A lot of times it looks like I startle him when I come up to touch him, and when I go to give him a treat, if I do, he grabs not exactly at the treat. It's just a couple little indications. I think he can see for sure, but I don't think his vision is 100%. Just my guess. Anyway, we got him sitting at our left side. We're going to take the first step as we tell him to heel. Keep this leash, especially if you use this prong collar, which I recommend. Only use it while you're training. Never leave it on the dog. We'll talk about that when you pick him up. But never keep it tight like this. He's going to hate it. He'll rebel and everything else. You just walk, keep it loose. His reward is to keep this leash to where it's a little bit loose, where it hooks to his neck, his collar. And if you feel it get tight, just give a little pull and release, real gentle. He doesn't need much at all, and keep walking. The worst thing you can do is stop and cater to him and see what's going on. Unless he's going to the bathroom or something, he's going somewhere other than where you want him to go, so you just keep walking. You ready, babe? That's just a lead, babe. You ready? Okay, let's see how he does. You ready? Hey, come on, heel. Come on, babe. Good boy. And as you stop, he should sit. Praise your dog. Good boy. Inky, come on. Heel. Come on. Good boy. Good boy. Come on. Come on. And as you sit, he should automatically, or as you stop, he should automatically sit. Exercise finished. Good boy. Okay, for a conclusion, Inky's done very well. Like I said, this breed is not always the easiest to train. A little bit of a challenge, sometimes a huge challenge. Something that I didn't mention up to this point, I don't think, is if you're struggling with any one of these, I would try to do with these exercises if you can, just exactly the way I did it, but only do it for like 10 minutes. If you find yourself, you might even have to set your watch or something, a timer, because it's very easy to go into 15, 20, 30 minutes. Next thing you know, he's starting to hate it. You bring the leash and collar to him next time, he's like, oh, he starts to go the other way like he doesn't want to. That's the last thing you want to do. You want him to have fun and enjoy this. That way he's going to learn more and it's going to be fun for him. He'll do 10 times better. Another thing too, I've got some treats in my pocket. I only use them when I need to. If I'm coming up against something like his down. He did his down good today in the video, but there's times when he doesn't. And when he doesn't do it, I just reach in, take a treat right to the ground and let him go all the way to the ground, then give him the treat. And you know, that's his reward. Eventually you can wean him off the treats, maybe every once in a great while, but he needs to know that later on down the road, think of in the end, you want him off leash. Could be his life. He may be going to danger, a highway, a road, or in front of a car. You call him, you want him to come to you. You don't have a treat, and you got him treat trained, he's gonna know if you got treats or not. Could be his life. So we want to eventually get him away from the treats, except for on occasions. Going in and out of doorways, I put him in a sit like this, tell him to stay. I kind of open the door, I take my steps first. I go through the door first. That's huge with a dog, to teach them that in the pecking order, when you open a door, most dogs want to fly through it. Going in or out, they want to be the first one. And that's the worst thing you can do, because most of the time you don't want them to get to the other side of the door before you. There's somebody else there, you don't want them jumping all over them, or whatever. So I take the first step through there and make sure he knows I go through the doorway first. You can continue that at home if you want, but it's a really good thing to teach a dog that's like this, that doesn't know anything about that or didn't. The jumping, I noticed my camera person is new to him. He tried to jump on her. I told her what to do and he eventually stopped, but it took a couple minutes, or a minute I would say. Everybody that comes in contact with a dog has to do this. He knows he'll come running and flying to me and run skidding flying around, but he won't jump on me normally. And I didn't do anything torturous to the dog. I just put my hand out like this. Now if he come at first and I would put my knee up a little bit to just discourage him. We don't want that. The worst thing you can do is have anybody, I don't care if family member, friend, somebody doesn't even know him, don't let the dog jump up and let them just, oh, good boy, good boy. He figures out if he can do that to that person, he's going to continue. 2 years later, you'll still be fighting the problem. So everybody that comes in contact with him, what I do when he comes up is I just come down here like this and pet him, give him all his attention. If I have to hold my hand on his shoulder to keep him down like this while I pet his belly, you know, keep him down here while I pet him. Let him learn that that's where he's going to get his attention, down there, not up here. We're going to get mad at him when he gets up here. We're going to give him the love and affection that he really wants down here. Anyway, he's done really well for a Dalmatian. He does have some issues you still got to work through, like you're going to see with the healing. Sometimes he kind of locks up and doesn't want to go. If he does that, and you feel like you're going to drag him, don't drag him. Do a small left-hand circle, left hand. So you're cutting him off, and you'll actually make him kind of get up and start walking. Instead of walking him in a straight line, you're going to walk him in a left-hand circle, just like one full circle, and then stop and have him sit like this. And the more times you can do that, then you can start going in a straight line if he gets in one of those modes. I'm sure at some point you will see that mode I'm talking about. But don't give up that exercise. Continue it, leave it, end it on a good note that day, that time, and then come back later and do it again. And if you have to take a treat, just let him know that you've got a treat in your hand as you're walking him. If he goes to go that way or behind you or out in front of you, just give a little pull and release. It's a real quick pull and release, not even that hard. It just makes that collar get tight for a real quick second, and he learns real quick. He's rewarded in that leash. That collar's nice and loose when he's doing what he's supposed to be doing and where he's supposed to be at. Anyway, I've enjoyed working with him, and thank you very much. Good boy.